My husband, he had done the inspection, him and his friend.
It was an aggressive inspection.
This is my fingers, right? Now I can actually break through it with my fingers. Maybe he didn't have enough experience to actually inspect the house himself. Looks good, sure does.
Oh, my God.
This is like paper. That's a complete gut, a complete mold remediation.
Huge embarrassment, even to the point where, you know, it makes me look incompetent.
Just push the house over and build a new one. Let's get to work. I'm taking this show to a whole new level. This fan-favorite episode of Holmes Makes It Right has been retooled. I'll take a deeper dive into construction issues and provide you, the viewers, with even more valuable and pragmatic takeaway, as well as never-before-seen footage. So let's make it right. Lisa and Mel called me in because they found a little problem with the cladding on the outside of their home. That water's coming into their basement. You must be Mel.
I am. Nice to meet you, Mike.
Yes,
Nice to meet you guys.
So we bought the house 3 years ago. In our opinion, it wasn't a fixer-upper. Being 5 years old, it was just something that we had to paint and just make it our own.
I love the look of this house.
Thanks.
Thank you so
But I
much.
can tell by looking at it, there's problems.
Yeah. If we see the problems, you see
Then
the
you must
problems.
see more.
We know what
Well,
to
I
see.
could probably tell you where all the wetness is. I'm hearing I got to start in the basement. So I'd like to start in the basement, see what you've done throughout the rest of the house, and then I want to walk you outside, and I'm going to point out a few things. Very nice. So we've used TJIs, or manufactured floor joists. What first made you notice that your house was leaking?
The first indication was the doors. A little bit of moisture coming through, and I kind of knew that the problem was there.
Front door?
The back door.
Back door?
Yeah, the kitchen door, the French door, which is located just above that wall there.
My husband, he had done the inspection, him and his friend, who are very handy.
The problem is with a house inspection, it's not an invasive process, and I don't have the equipment to look into the walls and to see what's going on. So, you know, we checked it out. Everything checked out well. It was just cosmetics. 5-year-old house, it's still under warranty, so we're not worried about structural, not worried about rot.
Did you see water dripping down the wall? I can see it on the plastic.
Heavy, heavy rain. Then we see a little bit of staining on the ground. And so about 4 months ago, I thought, you know, it's time to rip that vapor barrier out, start pulling the insulation out, see how bad things are. And I'm not thinking they're gonna be bad.
No, what'd you see?
Pulled it out, and I saw a 3-foot rim board that looked like paper towel to me. Black mold coming out in my hand. The first thing I'm thinking is, how am I gonna tell Lisa? How am I gonna say, look what I missed? Check it out, look what we got. Like, honestly, it was a heart-sinking moment.
I was in shock. I couldn't believe it. At first, I just thought, you know, are you joking? Is this a joke? And then when I saw the rotten lumber, that was like,
That hit home.
goodness.
We've got a
Yeah.
huge issue here. And I'm a pretty calm guy. Like being with the fire department, volunteered, like, I see bad stuff all the time, emergencies, people running around. When she sees me a little elevated, a little concerned, to the point where we got a problem, that just only elevates the stress.
Mel is an auto mechanics teacher, and I like that. He's a teacher. He's in the trades. He's teaching the next generation. I can tell he pays attention to detail. Maybe he didn't have enough experience to actually inspect the house himself. I can't stress enough how important it is to pay for a proper home inspection before making the biggest purchase that most people will make in their entire lives. The home inspector is a reality check buffer between you and all that tempting eye candy of granite counters, hardwood floors, etc. The inspector will focus on the building structure and, in particular, the roof, walls, foundation, electrical work, plumbing, and HVAC system. Make sure to hire a home inspector who is insured and licensed, and ask a lot of questions, such as, how many years have you been an inspector and what is your background? It's best if they worked in the construction industry. Ask for references. How extensive will the report be? Is the inspector a level 1 thermographer who is able to use imaging cameras to detect problems behind the walls? Be present at the inspection, and again, ask a lot of questions. And once you get the report, read it. Don't make bad impulsive decisions. As I often say, I'd rather not buy a house than buy the wrong one. Okay, any other spots that you noticed water coming in?
So then I went to the other back door, did the same sort of deal. So again, moved back, I pulled out some of the insulation, the exact same thing going on, the rot coming through and into the subfloor.
Okay.
And a lot of moisture.
Now, if it bypasses that, that means it's already gotten into the sheathing. So now, like a sponge, how much has it absorbed up into the sheathing? These homes are built with a layer of aspenite attached to the exterior structure to help strengthen it. It's what we call sheathing. To protect the house and keep the elements out, they install a weather-resistant house wrap. Then they do the siding. In this case, the siding product used was hardy board, but water is obviously finding its way behind that protection if we're finding rot on top of the sheathing.
I thought, okay, let me go check another door. And okay, well, let me go check the other side of the house under the windows. And it just opened up a whole can of worms all around the house. And that's when I was like, oh, I know what I'm getting into. I'm a handy guy. And I knew this thing was gonna blow up beyond what I could probably fix.
So you didn't take off any hardy board on the outside at all?
Yeah, I did.
You did, where?
On the outside of the front porch. When I pulled it off, I ripped the wrap and I put my thumb right through the sheathing.
Okay. Usually not a very good sign.
Yeah.
And this is where you saw it rot, and that's where your thumb went through?
Yeah.
They're intimate right to the sheathing, so I can tell by doing that that it's not strap, which makes me worry. This is a product we've used for years, but you must use a proper technique in installing any new product, any wild product, it doesn't matter. If you think you can just slap it up and it looks good, because it is lipstick and mascara, any cladding on the outside is just that. They've installed the siding intimate to the sheathing, so if water just happens to get in behind the house wrap, there's nowhere for it to go. It'll sit there and rot the wood. What we do is install strapping vertically to give space between the siding and the sheathing. This allows air movement so any water that gets in behind it can escape and dissipate. Other areas that I see is the joins. Now, years ago when it came to this product, and again, I love the product, it's all about installation, they have, we'll call it a drip edge that's got to go in. So where there's a join, we can't rely on caulking. Okay. So they usually have some sort of flashing in behind it, a water stop of something. I see absolutely nothing. So what they've done here is I can see that years ago there was a caulking in here, unless you did this.
I did that.
That was you,
yeah.
Because they didn't do it.
No.
I can tell by looking at this point right here that we have nothing to do with any type of a flashing in that area, so water will penetrate that point. We're gonna have joins everywhere on the house. You see the beautiful trim above the top of the window?
Yep.
Yes.
I don't see any flashing, no drip edge, no nothing, so water and snow is gonna penetrate the top of that. It's clear we have water infiltration around the windows, doors, and possibly into the basement. That's the areas that's going to be most penetrated. But let me tell you, if it is rotten, all the structure in behind it, this is a whole new ballgame. Did you build the deck?
I refaced it.
You refaced
the
the
deck was here.
Because here's my problem. I need to remove that. Because this is an area that's going to be an issue, which means I need to remove this.
I know. And the part that I'm going to be embarrassed about, and you're not gonna like me for it, there's debris under the deck that I found.
Like what?
Concrete, just junk that they put there.
And then you
I
just
got
put it,
lazy,
you
and
let-
I
and you
went on
left it
top.
there.
I thought it would never resurface.
Well, we're not going to be lazy this time.
I appreciate that.
We're going to take it out. So you might want to help me on that.
I will. Yeah, I will.
You know, I could tell. Look at the backyard. Look at everything. Crisp, clean. He pays attention. I think he may be in a little over his head, though. But wait till you see what I have to do to fix this. Here's what's going to happen. I need to set scaffold all the way around your house, because what we're not going to do, and I tell you right now, is open up little areas and repair it. So if I just open up small areas and fix that area, it's only going to happen again. Yeah. The only repair that I can do to your home is to remove it all and do it again.
I'm a proud guy, and for me to reach out and say, you know what, let's displace somebody else. Let's me get the help right now. It felt kind of, it felt wrong. I'm used to going out and helping others. I'm not used to just putting the arms out and say, okay, here it is.
Oh my God. Oh my God, look at that.
If I thought for a second or a minute that somebody could come in and do a 4-hour home inspection and had uncovered that, I would have taken that route. 100%. And at that point there, the decision would have made, this is not the house for us. You're not expecting on a new home. And this is apparently a quality, reputable builder in the area.
I brought my IR camera just to confirm it. I know I don't need it. I can tell by looking at it where the problems are and what I have to do to fix it. But sure enough, it shows the blue area, that cold area, or wet. When I see these cracks here like this, and I see the caulking, everyone relying on caulking, I mean, all I have to do is put that to the bottom of the door, and I can see that underneath that metal, it's still wet, which means more than likely that beam that holds up that door is saturated. It did rain last night. It means it's still wet. So I'm just looking at the window. What I'm actually looking at is right here and here. If you notice, there's no caulking whatsoever here. We have it on the window, but none here. And you put enough rain on that sill, this is showing me that I've got a difference of temperature in behind it. And this is telling me that I actually have moisture or wet in behind and along the bottom of the window. I mean, there's gonna be no difference from this window to that window, that one, that one. I mean, it can actually penetrate not only the sheathing here, but if it made its way to inside, that means the inside of that drywall can be very moldy, what we don't want. Well, the house is 8 years old. I mean, there's a little bit of love put in here, mature gardens all the way around a deck. I've now got to make space. I got to pull things out, put scaffold in. We're gonna have to pull the deck apart and get it away from the house to replace the siding, all the electrical mounts, everything, and rip it all down to do it again. Is this easy? No. Mel, my gang.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, guys.
Mel's gonna work with us today and tomorrow, so he's gonna be doing a little things with us.
Yeah.
A little bit of a cleanup, which I'm about to show you. Also, I want him to witness the damage that this has caused.
Now we have the scaffold guys chasing us around the back of the house where the deck is. Now we got to pull the deck in order to continue the scaffold full perimeter around the house so we can work on it. So right now, just prepping it up because the one thing I need done today is the scaffolding so we can actually get the house done. What a mess. Mel! Oh, Mel!
So just take the deck apart and build a stone patio here for him.
Well, you already have all the stone in place.
Wow.
This is what you do with garbage? Where is he?
Probably hiding. He knows what we're gonna find.
Yeah, I went and left the cement under the deck. What a mistake. It came to bite me.
Is this you?
So I'm not too popular here, right? Some of it was here, and I'm kind of ashamed to admit that I added to it.
You added to it?
I can't lie, because my boys helped me.
Right.
And we had an assembly line plopping rocks in here. I thought, this will never come back to haunt me.
Well,
1 year later.
This is part of a bench.
This is not my bench, just for the record. But I will take it out of the way.
Now, were you getting your haircut back here, bud?
No, it's my dog. I'd be proud to have hair like that. I'd be a happy fella.
Good thing is, you know what? Your builder appears to be a good builder. As I walked inside your house, I could see that somebody cared about building this house. But remember, they hire all kinds of companies out there, right? So they brought in someone that does the cladding. In truth, the cladding company's responsible for this. But in the long run, it's how many years later?
Like 7, 8 years later.
It's your problem now. It's now your responsibility.
Brother, let me get a good feel of how you guys are doing.
So I don't get a crew shirt, I guess.
You maybe later.
Well, it depends. Not with antics like that.
We gotta fix that first, and then I graduate from the great shirt.
This looks like a well-built house. It's such a shame. A brand new home. And I gotta come in and fix a brand new home. Everyone's under the assumption, oh, buy new, you don't have an issue. You won't have to call Mike Holmes. Just wait till you see what I have to do to fix it. At this point, I believe we've caught it early. I'm really hoping we have, because if it's gotten that wet behind this siding, then I've got a really big problem. That's not gonna work really well. Look at that. This is indoor finishing nails from a nail gun. It's for doing all your trim indoors. It is not for doing your trim outdoors. So all you're doing now is just look, you can see the water penetration on the back. That piece is right here. We can see the water signs here. We can see the water signs here. Is that actually a really good sign? Think about it. This is a really good building wrap. So the idea is that this allows the sheathing to breathe in behind it, and it will stop the water from penetrating. Well, what they did is when they put this up, they actually tuck tape to the bottom of the window, right? I'm going to put my money on it that this is not wrapped up into the sill. And it's not. Okay, what does that look like to you? This is the very first spot that I've opened on the house. And this is actually not a good sign. This is your outside sheathing, right? That's definitely a rotten spot right here, which is not good. It's coming up a little too easy. That's a bad start. This was well put up and taped against the bottom of this window. So it's telling me that water's actually come right in at this point here. And that means it's come in through the window. So this is a system that is set up with a track drip. Here's your screen. It's going to go inside there. It's got a track drip, which allows the water to fall out. There's your dripping sections, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 per window. So that's where it's supposed to drip out. For whatever reason, it's getting beyond that, and it's actually coming under here. And I'm pretty damn sure of it. I'm going to see rot up above that, not just below it. And I don't want to pull it out, but I do. So that means it's not just actually coming in from around the window, it's coming in through the window. So it's another reason we replace the windows. Of course, it's important to do your research and make sure you're buying good quality, energy-efficient windows. But if the windows aren't installed properly, it won't matter how expensive or stylish or energy-efficient they are. Things will go wrong. Think about that. You could have house wrap, waterproof cladding, and enough insulation, but if you have badly installed windows, that means you're going to have air leaks, which will affect energy costs, and water leaks, which will penetrate the building envelope. And now there's a domino effect of water sitting on drywall and wood framing studs, which will lead to rot, mold, and structural damage. Now, that expensive, stylish window isn't so pretty anymore. Hire a window professional to install it right.
There you go. Look at this, guys. Now, that is not how you do your building wrap. I'll tell you right off the bat, this building wrap should wrap inside the window. You place your windows in there, right? That came off like that. Water was just coming right down the sides. Look at that. And this is the easy part. We're up on the second story. Wait till we get down to the main level. Water's going to want to travel by gravity. Here we go. Oh, my God. Look at that. It's all the way it just got in behind, right? All that board pressed up against us was just letting it sit here and rotting.
Algae. Look at the algae from where it sat between the hardy board and that. Just sat.
I honestly have never seen this much damage on the outside of a house before. I can't believe it. I can't believe it didn't come into the house. This is like paper. This is turning into dust. That's plywood. Oh, dude, look at that. That's still saturated. How much rain did we get? Look at, if I squeeze that hard enough, you could see the water coming out of that. Oh, wow. OSB is bad to begin with. We don't like it. It turns into a sponge with water. But this damage would have happened to plywood. It would have happened to anything because there was nowhere for the water to go, nowhere for it to dry out. Sat in behind the sheeting, and you can see it just acted like a sponge, got bigger and bigger. I mean, we've had a lot of rain this summer. So you can just see this area got hit really hard. And luckily, in all the timber strand, I mean, some of these are gone. I mean, we'll have to replace a couple of these, but most of them just have some surface mold on it. We just wash that right off.
This is very unacceptable. Look, you should not put this kind of force down. This is crazy. In proper installation, these have to be secured. Windows, especially vinyl windows, have to be secured through the vinyl jamb and the wood jamb. Shin, I see no shin feel whatsoever. Garbage. Let's get some real windows in here.
Every single window, every single door has damage. This really just shows what? The siding was installed poorly. The building wrap around the house was installed poorly, yet all the products are superior products. You put good products in a house wrong, and we're gonna have issues. Now, on top of that, add windows that aren't good enough, they only look good, it's a recipe for disaster. Can you imagine if you waited 10 more years?
There'd be no house, no structure.
There would be no structure. You'd have a complete mold infestation inside the house. That's a complete gut, a complete mold remediation, structure on the outside, all new. Not just what we're doing now, it would be tenfold. Tenfold the amount of work, tenfold the amount of money.
It's an 8-year-old house. And now that I've got the crew helping me, Mike Holmes helping me, in the beginning it was difficult. It was hard for me to just kind of let go of the reins and let people step in. But I gotta tell you, I'm getting used to it. It's feeling pretty good.
I stand here and I look around. I see the product on that house, that house, that house, that house, that house, and I can go on. If these people are in trouble, doesn't that tell you what the rest of the neighborhood's gonna be?
We heard through the grapevine that one of the homes in our area was having some problems.
I'm really happy the neighbors are coming by, and I don't even care if some of them are irate. Here's my job, and it's who I am. I want to teach you. If you want to listen, open your ears, because I got lots to say. Right now, based on what we see, this is all water issues. Has it caused mold growth? Yes. And if they had wrapped all the window jambs properly and installed better windows and bragged to you all that we put in nothing but good windows, I wouldn't be here. These are the little things that if we don't address right now are going to become very, very bad. What we're gonna do here is repair all the damaged areas, wrap the entire house with a superior building wrap, and that'll include all the window and door jambs. Strap the walls vertically, then we're gonna use the superior siding by Maybach. And of course, we have to replace all the windows and doors. Everything will be 100% watertight. People often ask me if I hadn't been a contractor, what would I have wanted to do? I think I'd be a good teacher, but in a way, I already am. I really love helping people in need, but the more I can educate homeowners about structure and paying attention to what's behind the walls, the less they're gonna need me. And someday, I can retire to my boat, listen to reggae, surrounded by my family. I taught my kids construction at a young age, just like my dad taught me. I've always said, I threw them in the middle of the ocean, and they had to swim. Construction's not easy. It's hard work in every weather condition imaginable. But they've both come such a long way, and they have made me very proud. And to homeowners, I always say, if you do your research, ask the right questions, spend money wisely, and use good products, you'll always make it right. So yeah, I'm a teacher with a really big classroom.
Very informative. It's amazing to watch him just sort of tear back the layers, point out the deficiencies, and explain exactly why it happened. So someone like me who's never held a hammer, I feel a little smarter.
The last thing I want was to come here and make everyone afraid or terrorize them. Like, oh, you got a problem. That's not what I want to do. I'm here to make sure that they know what's wrong with it, what they can do to fix it, and stop the process from obviously getting worse. Okay, thank you. Mel sort of mentioned to me earlier that he hasn't seen this much traffic around here, people walking by. I love it. You know, it's not they're coming to see me. They want to know what's going on, and something tells me they have their own concerns. Should they learn something, maybe, for their own house? I like that.
Usually you should have some kind of seal here. Yeah. Caulking, vapor barrier, blue skin, anything should be here. They just put this on door, wood on wood. That's not good. Paper. No protection whatsoever. Oh, wow.
Oh, wow, this is completely rotted out.
Now, this is what Mel replaced here. So what I want to do is I want to take this out or replace it with a piece of sill, okay? But I don't want to only replace it this little piece. I want to go back a little further. Let's peel some of that out so I can see what I'm dealing with. Look at that, eh? Holy cow. That got some water. I think I can actually, yeah, I can see into the basement now. Wow, that's how he was able to repair it. guess he didn't know what to do with this. And there's your foundation right there. They're so lucky that that water never penetrated the house. Really, the damage is on the outside sheeting. We had a little bit of damage at the back sill for structure, a couple little studs here and there, but really the water stayed to the OSB plywood on the outside of the house. Once you start riding out structure, that's when the prices go up. That's when you're paying a lot more money. Plus, that's when your house starts failing. The way they originally structured this was perfectly fine, but as soon as this plywood rotted out, the structure became sort of undermined. What we have to do is build a little 2x6 wall right underneath the opening. What that's gonna do is just solidify this opening tremendously. It'll help me with my plywood on top because I have to add plywood back here so Dom can get his door in. Plus, I need to get my rim plate back on. So this will help me with my rim plate, help me with my plywood, and support that whole opening. Yeah, there we go. Nail it off, guys. Okay, final stage. Let's get the plywood on the outside, plywood on the inside. Dom can put his door in. Good job, guys.
The other day, we had a whole whack of the neighborhood by to see the issue that is in these houses, that is in all these houses, everybody that came by. It's too bad they couldn't see this. This is a mushroom growing in the house. And that's what water will do, given the opportunity and given the chance to grow. It's pretty gross.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to pre-cut membrane after. Might burn a little bit of time, but. What we're planning on wrapping the house with is Blueskin VP. VP stands for vapor permeable, and the reason why that's important is it will actually allow vapor to permeate out of the system. So any moisture that might exist within the wall cavity can escape. This is actually our structure of our window. We want to protect this just as much as we want to protect the outside. So we wrap the entire window to make sure that this window is protected, not only outside, but on the inside as well. The product that we're using here on the sill is different from the Blueskin we're using on the rest of the house. The way it differs is that this is actually impermeable. The reason why we want to use this on the sill of our window is because if there's any moisture that might collect in the system, it would be on the bottom of the window. I'm going to tag it here. So we want to make sure that there's no way water can actually permeate through this to rot out our sill. What we've installed here is a J-track for the siding. The strapping runs into it, and all it does is prevent insects to get up, and it allows whatever water that is gonna get in, which is gonna be very minimal, just to drain out.
Tyler, bring it up right over here, bud, if you can. Thank you, bud.
Come on, Jimmy, I'm coming.
This is not a common practice for people to do any type of siding using strapping. Before, they went intimate to the product. So you got to look at this, that it just went right tight to the product. Now, what's the problem with that? One, you can't breathe. It's like putting your hand over your mouth. You can't hear me? I can't breathe. That's exactly what's happened. Even though this is a breathable product and the other one that was on the wall was a breathable product, you're now covering it up. So even if water gets in behind it, it holds it and will sit and work its way into the plywood and actually start to rot it like we saw. Bring it out, strap it out, and allow that water to drain out if it gets in behind it is the smart way of doing it. The other benefit to this is going vertical strapping and nail length to the strapping. This is a great product. It's like a washer on every nail. Boom, 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 it gets it. So now we have no nails in the interior channels. No chance for water to penetrate the structure. We're now gonna take our siding, come up, nail right into the strapping, much the same way, all the vertical spots, all the right protection, all the right procedures. This house is 8 years old. I'm stripping the whole outside, replacing the windows, replacing the doors, replacing the siding. 8 years old? Doesn't make sense to me. That's a big bee's nest.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they're in every one.
I like how Derek's actually stepping in and you're spraying it beside his face.
That way, it kills
Look at the label.
Yeah, that says may explode, may catch fire.
Death. That means death.
That means explosive. Oh, Adam. Shut up.
There she goes. And now these windows do slide a lot better than the last ones. Like, these are very easy, smooth operation. And that's what you want. You don't want to struggle with your windows, but they work beautiful. Originally, we found two makeshift doors here in this opening. Two single doors joined together, and they called it a garden door. Now, we removed those. We're installing a good sliding door. But the beauty of this sliding door is it gives you a garden door image. It looks like a garden door from a distance. With a sliding door, we have a continuous sill around the perimeter. It's panels inside a track. It's a better performing door. They won't have any water problems any further.
I've chose to use an exterior siding that I really like, and I'm going to tell you why. It's like laying a floor on a wall because it all interlocks both horizontal and vertical. So what that does is, because it's locked in place, water won't penetrate it. It gives it literally its own flashing system. What I've chose is to do a nice little decor trim that matches the window. So I actually picked my siding, matched the windows to the trim. Even the nails are color-coded. Father-son siding. I like that. You can see how nice and fast, actually, we can install this. I love this. Well, what you don't want to do, yes, please, what you don't want to do is make it too tight. If it's too tight, when it expands, it pushes the trim, it'll bulk it out in the center, and it bulge it. You don't want that, nor do you want it too loose, because if it's too loose and it shrinks, because that's what's going to happen with wood, it naturally expands and contracts, it doesn't look good. You happy? I really like this, looks good. Buying a house, whether it's your starter home or your forever home, is always a big decision, never to be made lightly or impulsively. I've seen firsthand people throwing reason out the window, and then inevitably, the house of their dreams turns into a renovation nightmare. Over the years, I've tried to educate people to do the research and ask the right questions with their contractors. The same holds true before buying a house. As I've already said, pay for an inspection from a qualified home inspector. And I also recommend getting tests for indoor air quality, mold, asbestos, and radon gas. Radon is a radioactive cancer-causing gas formed from the breakdown of uranium in the earth. This gas can find its way into your home through cracks in the foundation, pipes, and windows. So testing for radon is very important. All these tests I've recommended will give you a clear idea about how much it'll cost for possible repairs, remediation, or a radon mitigation system. Ask for the permit history and inspection reports from the house. If the renovations have been done and there's no permit trail, chances are the homeowners did the renos themselves or a contractor didn't do his or her due diligence. Ask to see past utility bills so you can budget accordingly. What is the age of the house? That'll give an indication of what issues are likely going to come up. Find out how long the vendor has owned the house. If it's been a short period of time, it could be more of a flip and cosmetic changes were done quickly instead of addressing any structural issues. And don't be afraid to talk to a couple of neighbors on the street and find out how they like their house and the neighborhood. Remember, it's your money, your potential home, and your family who are going to live there. So if you plan it right and buy it right, you'll be all right.
I'm overwhelmed by the whole thing. Meeting Mike Holmes, having him come to our house, and fix this huge problem is such a relief.
I'm holding it in right now. Like really, I should be up and down jumping, like doing a song. This is awesome.
It's gonna be hard to cut the grass like this. You're gonna have to make a lawnmower noise, okay?
Not a chance.
No? How many horsepower are you? Quarter. Quarter?
Maybe.
Down, mule. The scaffold came down yesterday. That was a lot of work in itself. Now's the cleanup time. It's the last day. We want to bring John in and do all the mulch, clean up the gardens, make it look like we weren't there. We got touch-up painting on the rest of the trim, clean the house, bring the homeowners back. Here we go. I know Mel's a volunteer firefighter, so I got the number to his boss. I called him up. I said, can you bring him in on the fire truck? Would that be okay? That was pretty good driving. What's your name?
Peter.
How you doing, Peter?
How are you, Mike?
You can't see, right?
We can't see you.
Okay, so I'm gonna grab your hands. We don't want anyone getting hurt. For me, it just makes a great ending. I just love that. It's like when do you have a fire truck come up and drop the people off? Today. You called me in just because you had an issue with all the cladding in your house.
Yeah.
Which led to many other things, actually.
Imagine.
And this is probably a really good spot here. Are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so on 3, we're all gonna take our glasses off.
Okay, terrific.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness.
Unbelievable.
Even the posts.
Oh, wow.
Everything.
It's like a different home.
matches the roof, eh?
Oh, wow.
Holy
The door.
smokes.
When Mel and Lisa took their glasses off, I could tell right away. They really liked it. I mean, I knew it because I'm looking at it and it looks really good. It stands out beyond any of the houses around here. That's color coordination. That's the right windows, the right guys. Everything's about the right products and the right installation. But it makes my day when I know they love it.
So rich and warm. Wow. It is just unbelievable.
Everything. We haven't even absorbed it all yet.
Yeah, I
trying
just, the
to.
color is just so warm and inviting, and I mean,
All
we
the
couldn't have picked a
windows.
nicer color. It's just beautiful.
It wasn't just a simple point of taking off the old, because you were part of that. You came here for a little bit, and putting up the new. But it was so time-consuming and making sure we wrapped the house with a wonderful product. It's a blue skin self-seal product.
Blue skin.
All the way around the house. How they pocketed around the windows, did all the jams. We strapped the walls, 16-inch on center, everywhere. After that, the siding was easy. Bringing the Maybach in, you know what I love? A 50-year guarantee. This will not leak.
That's awesome.
All new windows, all new doors, all new cladding.
So right off the bat, pulling up and just seeing what Mike calls the lipstick and mascara, I mean, I knew that was gonna look great. But more importantly, I knew under the skin, underneath the foundation work, whatever that's gonna be done, it's gonna be perfect. There's gonna be no water penetration.
No issues, yeah, no
No
worries.
concerns. When it rains, you just have to worry about nothing. That's what's important. And the house looks awesome to boot.
We had to remove all the downspouts, all your vents, all your plugs, absolutely everything on the side of the house. I mean, this is just a crap load of work. Now, this product is so beautiful. You gotta think of this like laying a floor, because not only does it interlock together,
Tongue and groove this way?
the tongue and groove this way, too. So it's a custom nailer that we use for this. You won't see any nails anywhere. I love this.
The siding's perfect. Look at it. Look at that door.
Look at the door, come on.
Amazing.
Goodness.
And again, nothing but the best doors. But before we did all this, we had to fix rotten sheathing. We had to fix a little bit of structure. You know the back door, you know the front door, you know that side of the house, this side of the house. We did a lot of that. So that's what took all the work.
This closes the chapter. There's no worries about trying to pay for this, trying to fix it myself.
It's
I
just
can
a
sleep.
huge relief off of our minds right now.
I love helping good people. I know we made it right. There's not a doubt in my mind. This house is not going to leak, much like the other homes around here. It's just a shame that I had to come in and fix a new home. Here they come.
Really?
Mr. Damon Bennett, you know.
Oh, wow.
Mike, thanks, man. How are you?
Hey, my pleasure.
Couldn't be better.
My pleasure.
Again, Mike, thank you so
Guys.
much. This is amazing.
How are you? Welcome back.
Thanks, man. Holy smokes.
Now, how do I hug Dom?
How are you,
Thank you so much. Thanks. What a-
Out of all of this, I found a neighborhood of 90% of the people that came to find out what's wrong with the home. And the other 10% not care. Out of sight, out of mind. Is that really a smart way to do this? If you have a problem with the outside of your home, you better address it, because one thing about outside, it makes its way in.
Hey, do you guys want to present these gifts?
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. This is a true fire helmet?
Fire helmet.
Wow, they're hard on the head, eh? That's a lot of weight. That'll break your neck. Thanks, guys. That is great.